in with our first contestant, Emily Martin.
Hi, yeah, well, as you just said, I'm Emily, I'm from Sheffield Hallam, and I just want to quickly just tell you that I'm passionate about the events industry. I absolutely love it. I'm in my final year now, and I cannot wait to get out there. I'm very geeky. But basically, what I want to talk to you about today is CSR, so corporate social responsibility. It's something that I'm focusing on my dissertation, and I feel quite passionate about it. Basically, what my idea is, I really want to inspire and influence delegates when they come to an event, so within the conference and exhibition industry, I feel that the best thing to do, and the best thing to do is the first and last impression of an event is the one that is so vital, and it's the lasting impression. So what better way to hit delegates in the face with CSR than have CSR on arrival? So my idea is to use cycle rickshaws to take delegates from places like the train station to the venue. So I wanted to take this a step further. Instead of calling them cycle rickshaws, a bit of a boring generic name, I've gone with calling them lady buggies. Now the reason for that, hence the lady buggy sort of outfit, the reason I've gone with that is that ladybugs themselves are very important to the environment. They give energy to the environment, and through the environment, something very important, CSR, I thought, right, well, how can I link this? And so my concept is having these lady buggies pick people up from somewhere like using the ACC in Liverpool as an example. I was planning on picking delegates up in a lady buggy, which is cycled by, my thought was thinking something like the Liverpool Hope University do an events course. People who want to get experience in the events industry can come and cycle these delegates, and it's something fun that people can do to bond in a way, and it's a fantastic form of advertising. I'm very keen, and I know that cost, especially in the financial environment today, and I know that I want it to be kind of cost neutral. So any money, I was thinking sponsorship is quite a key thing today, and so some sort of sponsorship package that can incorporate something maybe from a cycle, a rickshaw manufacturer who can sponsor the bikes, and any profit that is made, any donations made, can be injected back into the community, into a CSR community formed project. Something along those lines. And I've been in contact with someone I know in the Universal World Events company, and he was very supportive of the idea, and he was very impressed with the USP of the idea, really. He was a lovely guy, a brilliant events agency. But he said he was very insisting that it had been done before he had actually worked with this idea. So it had, and he mentioned that it was such a fun event and people really bonded, which is, I think, a fantastic thing to do. Before you know anyone, you go to a conference and delegates can be quite not knowing of anyone. It's a fantastic way to bring people together. Also, if looking outside of Liverpool, where we are now, London, the capital, in the ExCeL, I was thinking, because the ExCeL itself is so big, it would be a fantastic way to take people around the ExCeL. Not discouraging walking, but for older people, or for people with small children, anything like that. It'd be a fantastic way to push people to learn about CSR and incorporate it within their field, because I know that CSR is a very talked about subject, especially now in today's environment, but it's very difficult to implement it in some ways. A lot of people say they do it and it's hard to do it, but this is a really good way to hammer it into delegates. I was also trying to look at, obviously with Red Nose Day coming up, that is something that helps CSR in a way, because it helps the homeless, it helps charities all around the UK and abroad. And I was thinking that as ladybugs inject energy back into the environment, this is something that ladybuggies do. So when, on Friday, that it is Red Nose Day, when you see Red Nose Day, just think about the ladybuggies injecting energy back into the environment. And I know you're all very busy and everything, but I've got some little ladybug pen drives for you with just some information about Neon and just some information about the ideas and some pictures of the rickshaws that I would be planning on using. So here you are. It's a ladybug pen day. There you are. There you go.
Thank you very much.
There you are. Yeah, thank you.
I have one. I'm just concerned about the weather.
I thought into that, yes, definitely. Well, the rickshaws themselves are covered,
Okay.
and so the delegates themselves wouldn't get wet. The driver, however, I was thinking ponchos and things like that and hats, that sort of thing, because I know that in China especially, this is a very big thing. They do it all the time in China, obviously where it's sunny and hot. But that's my way of looking around it, really. But the delegates themselves are under a hood, which could as well be decorated in some sort of ladybird fashion, red and black dots, that sort of thing.
One more question?
I noticed Emily picked a couple of the largest venues in the UK, Excel and ACC Liverpool. I can just imagine people coming down from Lime Street to ACC. I think it worked fantastically well. What would you have to say though, if in those large venues, it's a large event, let's say 800 delegates, have you got 100 rickshaw peddlers in mind?
Very good point.
Yeah.
I guess I would have to look into that and how I'm very bearing in mind the fact that I would have to look for, the reason I chose big venues is because I know both those venues are very CSR orientated. Both of them have won awards, they're fantastic. I was also thinking that we'd have to look for large cities that have enough, so that we're not bringing rickshaws over, because that would defeat the whole point of CSR really. But that was my thinking. You'd have to target somewhere which has a lot of it in place, but I'd have to look at, as you say, if it was a big conference or something like that, I would have to look closer into that. But yeah, definitely a fantastic point.
Excellent. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
sorry.
Oh, come on. There's one more question, of course. We'll squeeze one more in.
No, a very good presentation, Emily, so well done on that. But in terms of, CSR is a very wide area, and the idea that you've actually honed in on, I'm just interested to know with the research that you did, have you got any idea maybe what the cost of one of these rickshaw units might be?
Yes, I've looked into the cost of them. Some of them are quite extreme. So some of them do £100 a day. It's a certain amount. It's normally the more you buy, the cheaper the price, that sort of thing. But the gentleman I spoke to who works at the Universal World Events actually owns his own rickshaw company as well.
Oh, okay.
Just a fantastic coincidence. It's brilliant. And he mentioned that when he did it, he did do the sponsorship package, and he got, when he first started out, got rickshaws for free, promoting their company, but it was highlighting his business, and that was a really, really good way. And he really honed in on the sponsorship package and how that also helps it being cost neutral, which is something I think, especially with the financial industry being the way it is, it's something that we should really look at, trying to make a profit. If we did make a profit, give it to something that's back into the community and CSR orientated. Sorry, I was a little nervous, could you tell?
Thank you very much. Could you show your appreciation again?